Welcome back to Wounded Healer 9 podcast. I'm really grateful that you're here. Before we begin, we're going to start with something a little different. I want to invite you to take a slow, deep breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel where your body is right now. Feel the surface beneath you. Nothing else needs your attention in this moment. Today, we're talking about how the past follow us into adulthood, where healing can begin. So many of us try to move on from what we've lived through. We tell ourselves it's over, that we should be past it by now. But what I've learned is this: just because something is over doesn't mean it's gone. So it isn't about blaming the past, it's about understanding ourselves with more compassion and beginning to see that what we experience today often has roots we didn't choose. As always, I want to share a gentle reminder. This podcast includes conversations about emotional wounds and healing. Please listen in a way that feels safe for you. You're always free to pause, step away, or come back later if anything brings up any strong emotions. You deserve support. My intention today is to offer understanding, hope, and a few practical places where healing can begin. Something I've learned on my healing journey is that just because something is over doesn't mean it's gone. We move forward in life, we grow up, we build families, we try to do better, but the body remembers what the mind learned to survive. So even when we're adults, there are moments when we don't feel like adults at all. A comment can hit deeper than expected. A situation can feel unsafe even when we know logically that it shouldn't. These reactions aren't random, they're learned. When we grow up in environments where we didn't feel safe, protected, or emotionally supported, our nervous system adapts. It learns how to stay alert, it learns how to protect. That can look like people pleasing, shutting down, or always being on guard, or feeling responsible for everyone else's emotions. Over time, these survival patterns stop feeling like something we do, they start feeling like who we are. But so often, these aren't flaws, they're old coping mechanisms. Healing really begins when we stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" and start asking, "What did I live through that taught me to respond this way?" That shift opens a door of compassion, and compassion creates change. Healing doesn't start, it starts with noticing yourself. I want to share a simple example of how survival patterns can show up in adulthood. Because of early trauma, I carried certain survival patterns into my adult relationships. I later found myself in an abusive relationship, one eventually I walked away from. When I met my husband, he was nothing like any man I've known before. He has never laid a finger on me, and he has always made me feel safe. And yet, there were moments early in our relationship, if he moved unexpectedly, my body would flinch. What this showed me wasn't that I was unsafe, it was my body had learned a survival pattern. The reaction was real, even though the situation didn't call for it. And understanding that helped me stop blaming myself and start working with my body instead of against it. This is why awareness matters so much. When we can see our reactions as learned responses instead of personal failures, we create space for healing. One place healing can begin is simply noticing your patterns. When does your body react quickly? When does something feel bigger than the moment? Another place healing can begin is gently separating the past from the present. Ask yourself, is this about now or something older? Healing also begins with safety, small grounding practices, pausing instead of pushing, learning how to regulate before trying to change. And healing often deepens in connection with safe people, support, and guidance. As we close today, I want to leave you with this. If the past is still showing up in your life, it doesn't mean that you are broken. It means something in you learned how to survive. Healing doesn't require you to rush or get it perfect. It begins with awareness, with compassion, with one small, honest step. This week, my invitation is simple. Notice when something feels bigger than the moment. And instead of judging it, ask, what might this part of me need right now? Awareness is not weakness, it's the beginning of change. Thank you for being here. You are allowed to heal, and you're allowed to grow, and you're allowed to become.